Hey class, today I'm coming to you live from Tempe, Arizona. Actually, I'm about a stone's throw away from Arizona State University and Sun Devils football stadium. Communication is more important now than it ever was. Just 12 years ago, I was organizing my top friends on my MySpace page at my parents' house, and today I'm presenting information via YouTube to a social media class about a half a country away. Communication has significantly evolved over time, from cave paintings in cave dwellings to a telegraph to the telegraph to the television, and now we have email and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all this crazy stuff that can affect everyone, and it does affect everyone. It's amazing how far we have come as a society from where we used to be. The paper I've conveniently titled Current Event Articles Regarding Social Media Effects on Business in the World Today discusses 3 articles and covers current issues regarding social media. The first article is interesting to me basically because I'm a sports nerd. It's about branding and how professional athletes and sports teams really rely on branding more than ever. I personally believe we have just scratched the surface on professional and personal branding. The article talks about how at one point Kevin Durant made a tweet in the past regarding people wanting to go play for Los Angeles and Miami and the competitiveness of the league, and then a few years later he left his team to go play for the defending champions in San Francisco or the Bay Area, which the article talks about not deleting or deactivating old accounts. We also talked about that in our textbook. In the article, it also mentions how there's big money or businesses in managing people's brands online and managing their images. Actually, now Kevin Durant has someone who manages his tweets. In the article, it talks about different things that can help or hurt people as far as professional people and their endorsements or businesses, and how these businesses actually need someone to help market them, because it does affect their pocketbook when they do tweet something negatively. The article touches base on sports franchises too, in particular the New York Knicks. The Knicks have struggled for quite some time on the basketball floor, but that it really didn't affect them because they were in such a big market. Now that millennials are consuming information differently via the internet and Twitter mostly, they are able to follow other teams and they have favorite players. They're not necessarily locked to the New York Knicks. So in the article, it pretty much talks about how the New York Knicks and teams that have relied just on their market per se, where they're at located, they need to do a better job marketing online to potential consumers to make sure that kids or millennials grow up liking them just as much as they do the successful teams. The second article also talks about branding, but it talks about a politician, actually Donald Trump. It's a political article published in 2017. Regardless of your personal opinions of our current president, it's hard to believe he'd be as successful as he has been if it wasn't for the way he has been able to market himself on social media, in particular Twitter. President Trump is actually quoted in the article saying he would doubt he would be here, as in the president, if it weren't for social media. The political article also talks about how the president uses Twitter to debunk fake news per se, and how it's unconventional, but it has worked for him. The last article in my paper talks about ESPN and the giant sports broadcasting business that it is. However, it is struggling to, I guess, engage millennials online. In particular, Bleacher Report and Barstool Sports have popped up in recent years on Twitter, and they do a better job engaging people, in particular millennials, on sports. Millennials consume, like I mentioned earlier, they consume information differently now, and if ESPN isn't careful and doesn't adapt or change the way they do business online, they could be affected. The article talks about how MTV didn't take really Spotify or any other online music streaming businesses very seriously, and now MTV is taking a hit because of it. All 3 articles discuss important concepts and topics we have covered in our class and throughout the class. The Forbes and political articles really speak to the importance of branding and how to do that. The articles also talk about, they don't talk about Dan Schlabel's octopus model of relevancy, but they bring up different things in it. And they also talk about characteristics of social or successful social media marketers. The last article that I wrote about and summarized talks about content creation and the importance of successfully engaging your audience. Innovation and change are inevitable. History shows that those who do not adapt will often suffer consequences. Social media and social media marketing are the newest forms of change regarding communication we have seen in business and the world. Professional athletes and politicians alike all have been impacted negatively and positively because of the newest forms of communication. President Trump argues that he may not have won the election if it weren't for a social media presence. I tend to agree with that. ESPN has been affected by the change, and the article presented suggests that they have not been successful in the adaptation of change. Regardless of one's personal views on social media and social media marketing, the reality seems to be that it is here to stay, and until a new form of communication comes along, change is necessary for success in business and the world today. Thanks for listening, guys. Hope you have a great day.